I secretly paid off my best friend's student loans, but now they think it was their estranged parent. And I don't know if I should tell them. Jess always knew Sam carried a weight they couldn't see. It was there in the way Sam's shoulders slumped after every loan statement, in the quiet sighs they thought no one heard. Jess had watched it for years, the invisible chains of debt that seemed to tighten with every passing month. It started as an idea, small and fleeting. Jess had saved for years, not for anything in particular, just for a rainy day. But when they saw Sam's face that afternoon, staring at an email that said their loans had been paid off, Jess realized the rainy day had come. They didn't plan for Sam to think it was their dad. That part just happened. Sam's dad had been absent for years, a ghost in their life. But lately, he'd been reaching out. Texts, calls, vague promises of making amends. So when the loans disappeared, Sam's mind went straight to him. Jess couldn't bring themselves to correct it. Not when Sam's eyes lit up for the first time in years. Not when they started talking about family dinners and second chances. Jess had never seen Sam so hopeful. But the guilt was a constant hum in the back of Jess's mind. Every time Sam mentioned their dad, every time they smiled at the thought of reconciliation, Jess felt the weight of their secret grow heavier. They tried to tell themselves it didn't matter. The money was paid, Sam was free, and that was what counted. But the truth had a way of clawing its way to the surface. One night, Jess sat alone in their apartment, staring at the confirmation email on their laptop. Payment complete, $42,000. They closed the screen and buried their face in their hands. "What have I done?" they whispered to the empty room. The next day, Jess went to Sam's apartment. Sam was unpacking a box of old family photos, their face glowing with excitement. "Look at this one," Sam said, holding up a picture of themselves as a child. "I was such a dork." Jess forced a laugh, but their stomach churned. "Sam," they said, their voice trembling. "What if it wasn't your dad?" Sam paused, confused. "What do you mean?" Jess hesitated. The words were right there, on the tip of their tongue, but they couldn't do it. Not yet. "I just mean, maybe it was someone else," Jess said, backtracking. "A scholarship? A mistake?" Sam shook their head, smiling. "No way. This was personal. It had to be him." Jess nodded, but the guilt was a stone in their chest. That night, Jess paced their living room, talking to their reflection in the mirror. "Just tell them," they whispered. "They deserve to know." But their reflection seemed to argue back. "And ruin their happiness? They finally have hope. Are you really that selfish?" Jess collapsed onto the couch, torn. The truth came out a week later. Sam had received a text from their dad asking to meet for dinner. They were beaming, full of hope and excitement. "This is it, Jess," Sam said. "A fresh start." Jess forced a smile, but their hands trembled. "Sam," they said, their voice breaking. "There's something I need to tell you." Sam looked up, curious. Jess took a deep breath, the weight of their secret pressing down on them. "It wasn't your dad who paid off your loans," Jess said, their voice barely above a whisper. "It was me." Silence. Sam stared at Jess, stunned. "What? Why?" Sam asked, their voice trembling. "Because you've always been there for me," Jess said, tears streaming down their face. "When your mom died, when I lost my job, when I felt like I had nothing, you were my rock. I just wanted to give you the freedom you deserved." Sam's eyes filled with tears. They stepped closer, their voice breaking. "But why didn't you tell me?" "Because I saw how happy you were thinking it was your dad," Jess said, their voice cracking. "I didn't want to take that away from you." Sam pulled Jess into a tight hug, crying into their shoulder. You're my family, Jess, Sam whispered. You always have been. Jess finally let go, tears streaming down their face. The two friends sat together, the weight of the truth settling between them, and for the first time in a long time, Jess felt the weight lift.